And I'm going to read the topic, who goes which order, and then the question. City Auditor. Number one, topic is independence and transparency. It'll be Dan and then Laura. With an elected city auditor, the people of Long Beach have created an office that has complete independence from our other elected officials, and the auditor ensures that spending by all city departments meets a common set of rules and policies. How do you view the office's role as one of independence and transparency? And Dan and then Laura.
Thank you very much, folks, for coming out tonight. Neighbors and residents, I'm here to solicit your vote for a new vision for the Long Beach Audit Department. The city is very lucky to have an independent audit position. That person gets to speak on behalf of the voters directly to the city council on what they're doing. So the part of that would be accountability. In my role of bringing transparency to the citizens of Long Beach, it's very, very easy. I'm going to open up the books. I have a thing called the open checkbook. There are several states that already use this in the United States. There are cities that also use it, including here in California. What is open checkbook? An open checkbook says, this is where your money went. Long Beach has record revenues. Do you know where the money went? How many potholes did you avoid on your way over here? I can't fix the potholes, but what I can tell you is where your money went. I will post on the auditor website exactly all of the checks that the department approves that day. You will see them right down to the smallest penny. That's what an open checkbook is. Several states have it already. Massachusetts and Alabama, states that don't have much in common, they both have it. So remember, if you want to see, for transparency's sakes, where it is, that's where it goes. And I will do this independent of whatever the city council should say. Thank you very much.
Laura?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Dowd, the City Auditor for the City of Long Beach. It's been a pleasure serving as the City Auditor. I've devoted the past 16 years of my life to this position. I love the City of Long Beach. This is where I was born. This is where I met my husband. We've been married for 32 years. We're raising our daughter who's graduating from high school this year. I'm a third generation Long Beach resident. My grandfather built the breakwater. My grandmother was a PTA president. I love this community. I have not used this position for a stepping stone to any other position. This is my home. This is what I love. This is what I'm committed to. And it's an honor to be able to serve the city that I love. I would just like to say right off the bat that I want to assure to the citizens of Long Beach and reaffirm my commitment to serve with the utmost respect and honesty for the city of Long Beach. I want to say right off the bat that the independent review of me found no wrongdoing. I did not violate city policy. I wanted to say that off the bat. As I have been responsible for high impact, complex circumstances that require my guidance and decision making, I hired professionals to assist me. The city auditor's job is a difficult job. I'm grateful for the wonderful professionals as well as my staff that have done a great job for the city of Long Beach. Our independence is one that has stood up to the city council for the Queen Mary before the city gave them the $23 million. I stood before the city council and stated, because of my independence, not to give them the $23 million before I, as a city auditor, had the opportunity to look at the money, to do the due diligence, and to look and see where this money would be going and what would be the best use for this. My time is short, and I hope I can speak more about the Queen Mary in a future question.
Okay, thank you. Topic number 2, Queen Mary. Learned lessons. It'll be Laura and then Dan.
Perfect timing. That was great.
The Urban Commons contract and the poorly documented and undocumented spending of city funds is justifiably viewed as a fiasco. Strictly from a city auditor's view, what should be done differently to protect the taxpayers on all these types of contracts moving forward?
Well, thank you. Yes, when this urban common contract came forward, I hadn't even seen or learned anything really about what was happening. The Queen Mary has been one of the city's biggest failures. It has been here 54 years approximately. We still haven't had a plan to figure it out. That's why on November 1st, 2016, I stood up in front of the city council as the independent city auditor and said, we cannot give away this $23 million to fix repairs until we have a plan. One of the lessons we learned in the contract was that from my limited view at the time, because I hadn't had a chance to look at things yet, and I was asking to, was that it appeared as if only the city's money was at risk. So in lessons learned, when we're doing business with public-private partnerships, the city can't just have the city's money at risk. We need to come together with our private partners so that we have a fair share of risk, so that when something else comes in the future, the city isn't the one on the hook to pay all of the obligations. The way they had it set up was that Carnival was supposed to pay back the bonds that the city took for the 18 million, part of the 23 million, but then COVID hit, Carnival shut down, and the city was on the hook. And that's why I stood up that day, because I stated, look, there are certain assumptions here that we don't know as a fact. We need to have shared and fair value for the money. And I've always stood up for something when there's the city money at risk. And I have a 16-year track record of doing that. And I will continue to do that.
Okay, Dan?
Thank you, Laura, because there's something we definitely agree on. The Queen Mary has been an eyesore for 54 years. Whether we talk about it now with Urban Commons or anybody before, that queen is long past its due date. I don't want to spend any of my time rebutting what she'd said earlier, because you need to go out and read what the Beachcomber documents. It's all about transparency in terms of integrity of what people do. You need to do the right thing when the lights are not on. You need to be able to have trustworthiness of the city. If I was leading the audit department, over the years, I would have looked at a lot of different things that have not shown up on the audit list. These are things like the Measure M that went out, that's right now being handed back to the water department where it belongs, but not all of it. The question is, why not? Why are we opening ourselves up for more lawsuits? We've already lost as high as you can go in the state. Why don't we give it back and start over again? That's what I would be telling them. In addition to that, we got almost $40 million or so of COVID money. Where are the COVID audits? Where are those coming in? So it's not necessarily a matter of going out and looking at the Queen Mary that I think everybody in this room knows it's got problems. Even Disney knew it had problems. It's really about what topics do you want to go out and look at? And trust me, there are a lot of them.
Okay.
Yes, I've always stood for transparency, and our website, for the city auditor's website, has all of our audits posted on our website. We have every media channel available with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We put all of our audits out there so that we can make our work as transparent as possible. This is something that I have stood for. I have spoken in every single council district throughout the city, engaging the public and informing the public of our work as the auditor's office has been a top priority to me throughout my whole service in the city. And I've continued to make myself available and accessible to the residents. to hear what you have to say for us. So thank you very much.
Audience, please. Go ahead, Dan.
Something has happened within the last 5 years of the audit department. In 2016, the audit department staff produced 12 audits by themselves. 12. That's a phenomenal number. That's a job well done. 2 years ago, 1. Last year, 3. So far, 1 this year. Now, when you look at what the audit topics are, you also have to wonder what is going on with these. I don't know. I'm telling you, I will help to re-energize the department. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, our third and last, this will be our last question before closing statements. The topic is policy commitment, be Dan, then Laura. Per reporting in the news, the city auditor and other elected officials do not necessarily have to comply with the same fiscal policy rules as the city departments. Will you commit to complying with the same rules as published by your office and work with the city council to ensure that all city employees, including all elected officials, must comply with the auditor's fiscal control policies? Dan.
Easily done. Again, the 3 things I'm going to run on is integrity. Integrity to do the right thing when no one's watching. You're in charge of the department. Your job is to be independent and to give guidance to the city council members on where the money's going. Transparency, we talked about it earlier. I'm going to have an open book, so you're going to be able to see exactly where that money is going. And then finally, accountability. I'm going to be circling back with all of the people who've received the money to see exactly how they performed in their performance. The auditor's position is one of trust. The auditor has to have the highest integrity. When that is compromised, no matter how loud the auditor stands up and asks the city and the council to do things, people are going to look at that person and go, but you're not even following your own rules. So it goes without saying, yes, I will follow all of the rules.
Okay, Laura.
Yes, and I will too, exactly as I have stated earlier. The review that was performed found no wrongdoing. I did not violate city policy. The city policy is different for elected officials. So this was done in a different way. Will I support everything being the same? Yes, 100%. I absolutely support that.